Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Everybody here and everybody in spirit. Achieving the miraculous. Gosh, I can't believe we're in the 4th week already of January. This month we have explored and experimented with the idea of turning points that lead to different tipping points. Turning points ideas founded and grounded in our science of mind teachings. We've taken 5 of these basic teachings and we've called them turning point views. They are, if you can remember them, actually I have them out there if you'd like them. What was our turning point number 1? Anybody remember what this is? Patricia, if you'd like to hand those out.
I was thinking.
We can just go through these together because this is something that I think will be useful. That's why I printed them out. So our turning point number 1. God is an energy of love and creation that flows through all, surrounds all, is all, and it includes me. Our turning point view number 2. The universe has my back and is constantly conspiring for my good. Isn't that wonderful knowing that it's all going on all the time? Always conspiring for my good. Turning point number 3. I create my world with my thoughts, beliefs, and energetic frequencies. Turning point number 4. After doing what I am called to do, I can surrender to the universal flow of life with a capital L because it will take over and handle the details. And turning point view number 5, I am inherently worthy simply because of who I am. I am worthy because of who I am. All right. And as we have said, that if on a consistent and ongoing basis we live from these turning point views rather than from a lot of what the world views are right now. Side note, stay off Facebook, right? We will tip over into what seems to be the miraculous. And that is our theme for today, achieving the miraculous. But here's a little secret. It's not really miraculous. It's simply the way life works. It's just the way that the law works. Holmes writes in Questions and Answers in the Science of Mind, a miracle is merely something we are not accustomed to seeing or experiencing. In reality, there are no miracles, for what seems to be a miracle is but the effect of a supremely natural law. The faith that can bring about the least demonstration can bring about the greatest. There is no big or small in the mind that madeth all, right? That's Emerson, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And we have experimented with having faith in the turning point views and creating miracles, which we've been doing the past 4 weeks with our experiments. And I really hope that you've had fun if you've been doing the experiments. I hope it's been kind of a fun time. But before we move into our work today, I want to tell you about one of my miraculous experiences that just happened yesterday. I didn't share it with the testimonials because it was part of what we've been doing with our experiments. 2 weeks ago, our experiment was to bring into our experience 8 different things, including a billboard with a message that was just for you or for me, something that just came out of the blue and it had a message just for you. We're engaging in these various experiments to prove the turning point truths, and this particular experiment was to prove to ourselves that we are creative beings. We're doing it every day, but this was just, let's give it a punch here. And so I have to tell you, Rich found his billboard almost right away. And
$50,000.
yeah, there you go. And I had not seen any billboard that spoke to me. I saw billboards that said all kinds of things. I was like, nah. They were okay, but nah, they weren't really. And I was starting to feel frustrated that I hadn't seen my billboard. So think for a moment. Where are you frustrated in your life? Where are you frustrated in your life? Here's something that I know, but sometimes I forget to apply. Frustration is a repelling emotion. Frustration is a repelling. So when you're frustrated with something, it can be anything. What comes to mind is trying to thread a needle. So what happens, and when you get frustrated, well, that thread isn't going to go anywhere through the eye of that needle at that point. In fact, it bends and keeps out of it. It repels. It's like when we become calm, it goes right through, right? When we are frustrated and not receiving that which we have prayed about or intended, we are pushing it away from us. The very thing we want, we're actually keeping away from us. Just as much as if it were physically in front of it and we physically shove it back. And we may know this, but knowing and doing are two different things, which is why it's so important that we absolutely embody the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, who is our book study topic this month. And he says, stand guard at the portal of your mind. Stand guard at the portal of your mind. Don't let those thoughts in. Stand guard so that when we are frustrated, we can notice it and do something about it. No one can do that for you. No one's going to be the little one that comes along and says, don't think that. Wait, what was that thought that just went by? No, don't think that either. No, we have to do the work here. That's our job to do. So this week I got really clear. I had a little time because I knew I was going to be in a car driving all the way to Southern California and all the way back. And I thought, I know, I'm going to find a billboard that's going to speak to me. And I got clear that I had that undercurrent of frustration about not seeing my billboard. And so I decided I was going to do that experiment all over again, because divine do-overs in life are allowed. Remember that. Divine do-overs are allowed. So all the way on Wednesday, down we drove, saw nothing. Then on the way back yesterday, Rich was driving and I was working on crocheting a baby blanket. I have a friend whose daughter's having a baby, so I'm working on that. And I realized that I wasn't paying attention to what was out there. I'm not going to see a billboard, am I, if I'm looking down doing something else? So I wasn't going to find that billboard with a message for me. So I took over driving, and that first stretch of the road, was pretty bleak. I thought, wow, I don't remember not seeing anything for this long of a time. Well, just know I'm going to trust that it's going to be there. So I think it was near Fresno, and suddenly this billboard appeared. Like,
You didn't. You did.
there it is.
Oh!
Joy.
There it is. There it is.
Look at that.
I don't know about you, but I could sure use a huge dose of joy right now with balloons and everything, and I may even have a little wine later on. May not be that brand, but it's a product of Italy, which, was actually kind of exciting because my daughter she represents a wine from Italy. Not this one, but hey, still Italy. So anyway, that was my billboard.
Oh, joy.
In the foreword of Pam Grout's book, E Cubed, author Gabrielle Bernstein writes, "The only reason you're not aware of the nonstop stream of blessings and miracles is because you're looking in the wrong places." And I'll add, we might have our eyes closed. With just a little willingness and awareness, it's amazing what can happen. So I want to know now who has actively engaged in all of the experiments this last week and the week before and had some success with them. Have we all been actively haven't been doing them? Okay. Well, would you all like an extra week to do the ones you haven't done, or perhaps maybe do a couple of do-overs? Because what I did is I copied all of the experiments out there, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're welcome to take the sheets with you if you don't have them already, or pick the ones you want to do. Just pick one or two that you want to do, because I want you to come back with your stories next week. Next week is going to be a very special Sunday, but I'd like you to have your stories, and we're going to have a raffle for a prize.
What do we win? A trip where?
I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. So anyway.
Yeah.
It has to be Disney, right?
No, it can be Europe,
It can be anywhere you want to go in your mind, okay? Well, if you're creating miracles, why not create, your dream trip someplace too? That would be great to share. But anyway, everyone will have an equal chance. We'll have raffle tickets. It'll be fun. But today we're going to look at M&Ms, which are not talking about the candy, although that does sound good, but rather miracle mindsets. Miracle mindsets. And these are ways of looking at life through the lens of some of our turning point views. So we've got to get going. Let's jump right in. The first miracle mindset is, number 1, what is possible? What is possible? Versus, this is just the way it is. We heard that recently? Just the way it is. Get used to it. Now, what else is possible? Or in the words, how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? It may be the way it currently is, but it isn't the way it has to be. The truth of an infinity of possibilities exists. That's quantum physics right there. And we don't know until we put our minds into the equation what the possibilities could be. The only reason our lives look the same as today as they did yesterday is because that is where we're investing our energy. We invest it on the what is. We miss the miracles because we focus only on what is known or the current condition. We're just regurgitating the same stuff over and over again. Ernest Holmes writes, because we fail to realize that principle is not bound by precedent. Principle is not bound by precedent. It's always been this way, it'll always be that way. We limit our faith to that which has already been accomplished, and few miracles result. When faith finds its proper place under divine law, there are no limitations, and what are called miraculous results follow. So if you're experiencing a part of your life right now that you would like to experience differently, ask yourself, what else is possible here? How can it get any better than this? Because the universe has ideas that it wants to share with you. And if you give yourself an argument, here's the question that has saved my bacon more than once. What would I do next if I didn't think that this was impossible? What would I do next if I didn't think that this was impossible? And then do it. And then do it. Performing miracles isn't a matter of doing the impossible. It's a matter of redefining the possible. And we can do that because of turning point view number 2 that says, the universe has my back and is constantly conspiring for my good. The universe has my back and it's constantly conspiring for my good. That was that trust part that you had there. Number 2, it's a piece of cake versus it's hard. In E Cubed, Grout writes, and Rich shared with us a few weeks ago, hard is a 4-letter word that is one of the most dangerous words in the English language. It's especially damning when combined with something you want to accomplish, such as lose weight, change your thinking, attract money, or get a hot date, right? Because our beliefs are so powerful, literally sculpting our lives on a moment-by-moment basis, to believe and especially to say out loud that anything is difficult is extremely counterproductive. So, if we expect things to be hard, we can certainly create life that way. But remember our turning point view. After doing what I am called to do, I can surrender to the universal flow of life with a capital L. L. Right? Is that the right way? There we go. L. All right. Because it will take over and handle the details. So it really is a piece of cake. Now I want cake. No, I don't want cake. All right. I'm connected, number 3, I'm connected to everything versus I am all alone. Here's my definition of a miracle that I really like. A miracle is a shift in my perception that removes any blocks to my awareness of the presence of God right here, right now. I'll say that again. A miracle is a shift in my perception that removes any blocks to my awareness of the presence of God right here and right now. Most of us would say we have a belief or we have a faith that God is present. We know that God is present, right? But do we always feel that? Do we always feel that God is right where we are? Do we always see that? Do we always see God? And do we always know that? Because I think sometimes we may give it lip service, but we don't know it in our heart that that's where God is. The miracle is the shift in perception that removes the block, not in God, but in us. God doesn't have any issues here. God's always there. We're the ones that put up the fences and the blocks. So that right where we are, we can feel and be guided by and open to the experience of the presence, the power, and the companionship of Spirit, of God. So that was our last experiment, remember? I don't know if any of you did the last experiment. In A Course of Miracles, it says that if you and I are not experiencing miracles on a daily basis, it is we who are out of alignment with the universe. It isn't that we have to call God in to make miracles happen. It's that we have to bring our attention to the presence of the divine universe, and miracles just become natural. We don't have to do anything. We just have to make that shift. We just have to move into the space where we can see that. Religion has emphasized, look what God can do. But our master teacher, Jesus, emphasized, look what humanity in God consciousness can do. Look what humanity in God consciousness can do. One is looking for miracles from God, which is to abandon personal responsibility. And the other is knowing that God can do the seeming miraculous through us. We are the hands. We are the heart. We are the eyes, the voice of Spirit on earth. It is knowing that we are the miracle and that we can do what Jesus did and more, as he told us, if we awaken to our miracle self, just as Jesus awakened to his. This too you can do and more. Miracles are what happen when we are in harmony with the divine within us. When we take Ernest Holmes' advice in The Science of Mind, he says, there's a place in our mentality, in the heights of our greatest realization, where we throw ourselves with complete abandonment into the very center of the universe. There's a point in the supreme moment of realization where we merge with the universe, where a sense of oneness of all life so enters our being that there is no sense of otherness. It is here that the mentality performs seeming miracles, because there is nothing to hinder the whole from coming through. We can do this only by dwelling and meditating upon the immensity of life and the fact that as vast and as immense, as limitless as it is, the whole of it is brought to the point of our own consciousness. It's the only place it can come through, each of our own consciousness. Miracles happen when we recognize and live the turning point view that says God is an energy of love and creation that flows through all, surrounds all, is all, which includes me and includes each of you. As we bring our turning point views into our experience by embracing these M&Ms, I really should have brought packets of those to hand out, right? Our miracle mindsets, that would help you. Every time you eat an M&M, I want you to think
An
about...
anchor.
Yeah, bring back, miracle mindset. I'll bring some next week. And making them a part of who we are, we achieve the miraculous. We see the world in an entirely new light. We see that everything truly is a miracle, and that indeed everything is holy. And so it is.
So it is.